What's up, corners? Time you get served, it's your boy Phil. What a day today! How we doing, people? What's up? I know everyone's going Manning crazy, but there were other court cases today, people. And we have a boatload of clips for you today. Let's get it rolling. Mr. Judge Stevens from Jefferson County, Texas. He didn't use the word scourge like he did about drugs today. He used another word that got me rolling on the floor. He just can't stand when people don't follow probation. And he lays down the hammer. So roll it, nerds.
And we are here on a review, correct?
Yes, sir. He was sent to safety and he successfully completed the residential part of safety as well as aftercare. He was unsuccessfully discharged from supportive outpatient.
Unsuccessfully?
Yes, from
Why?
supportive outpatient due to positive drug screen. And he was not attending.
Positive drug screens for what?
At the time, it was meth.
Meth? We're still on meth?
No, sir. He has not tested positive for meth. He has tested positive for amphetamines. And he advised that he takes prescription for those, but has not provided the letter from his doctor. The last time we were in court, Mr. Falk was advised to provide a letter from his primary care doctor saying that he has a prescription for the Adderall.
Okay, has
Or
that been
and
done?
get an alternative for that. No, not to mine, no.
Well, then send me a. Wh- When was that? When were we here last?
September 30th, 2022.
Give me a motion to revoke probation.
I believe the court had ordered also on that date, Your Honor, that he had 4 weeks to catch up on
He
the
did.
$1,215.
And he did do that.
Okay. so
Really?
he did.
He did get
I mean,
turned on.
you expect me to beg you to do what you were court ordered to do? And then after you're court ordered, I am advising you, you must do that, and you still defy all of that? We'll file a motion to revoke probation. Let's see, aggravated robbery, that's a first degree felony. That's really what you want to flirt with? Life imprisonment? Well, that's exactly what you're doing. We ordered you and told you to get us some things for drug problems that you're having. So that if there is something that is defensible, you promised you'd get it. Well, I'm not living my life on your promises. You cannot be trusted. You made promises to me when we put you on probation, which are obviously failed promises. But you're not going to stall us and say, I'm going to get this to you and this to you, and then not, and we're just going to just go, okay, you're the boss, then you're the boss. No, you're not the boss here. This is a court order that you are defying, and we've given you some opportunities to help yourself.
Thank you.
So I want all that in there about the failures for the drug usage and also the failures to honor his promises that he would get doctors' prescriptions or documentation, which obviously aren't true, or you'd have gotten them later that day, but you're going to prison. Unless you can convince me that I'm wrong.
Whenever I saw you last.
You made promises, I expect them to be kept. You made promises at the beginning, you didn't keep those. We put you in a program, and then you came right back out of the program and started using it. But we're working with people who try. But when you look her in the eye and said, I'm going to get this doctor's statement, when was that said?
That was September 30th.
September.
2023.
I'm sorry, October, November, December, January, February, March. You could have crawled over to the doctor's office, crawled on your hands and knees in 6 months and gotten something. So we're going to really work on your terms now? No. I mean, yeah, you've had more than an opportunity to fix some of these areas. What we're going to do is order a motion to revoke probation, and then we'll have a hearing, and the court will make its rulings.
Whenever.
Your Honor, nothing. That's the way it is. That's the way it's going to be. And I know I get the sense that if you can just sell us some land on Mars, you'll do it. But we're not that foolish. We are the ones who set the standards, sir. We're the ones working the goalposts. We say this has to be done. But that's not what's happening in this probation. You're trying to dictate the rules.
Thank you, Allison.
You're trying to set the standards. That's not the way it works. No, but we will let the law work itself out. We've got 5,000 probationers, and everybody's got to follow the rules. And once you successfully do it, then you go on about your life, and then you're not subject to somebody looking over your shoulder like I am. 85% of the people are successful, 85 on probation, which is higher than the 70% normal national average, which means
Thank
do their
you.
part. These are great people who look at probationers selflessly and as a challenge for success, because they're proud of the success. And I am too. We talk about it all the time. When we're probation office here is looked at as a role model for others. But we can't make somebody do something when they don't want to cooperate. It's your choice, your free will. You made a poor choice to get you in here in the first place. Nobody commits aggravated robbery and thinks that's the right choice to make. So we knew drugs were an issue. We tried to help you with that. And this is a failing problem. This is a problem where you're not handling it responsibly. But when you start making promises, not only for your probation terms that I swear I will follow, that you signed off on to me, but when you start saying, no, I know I tested positive, but I've got doctor's orders for that. In September, 6 months have gone by and you're still trying to get something from the doctor. Does that make any sense to you? Does that make any sense to you? Answer that.
No, sir.
Okay, so you can understand in my position where I try to use logic in making decisions, that it is just not acceptable. But you're going to get a chance to be heard. But what I have come to know here on a serious case, we're not going to let you have room to maneuver and manipulate us. So we're going to order a motion to revoke probation. You will end up being arrested. We'll bring you over, and then we will have a hearing on it, and you will have an attorney, and we will then hear out your explanations and whether you can convince me or not that all of this has been done without your fault. Okay?
No, I'm not trying to convince you, but if I could just explain to you, 6 months ago, whenever I saw you, you asked me where I was getting my medication from, and I told you.
Get something from a physician who gave you a controlled substance, or a medical personnel a licensed one is what we expect. But I want to see someone at fault. Either they are dispensing it illegally, and you know about it and are accepting it illegally. Well, somebody's at fault here, because you made a promise.
Thank
to
you.
her that you would explain it all and get something in writing that shows this is a lawful prescription. We haven't seen that.
Well,
And you have a problem with drugs. And we're not going to just let you have room to run, sir. We're going to keep a tight fist around you because I know what methamphetamine use and serious drug use is all about. It's a scourge. You put yourself there by making the wrong choice in the first place to dance with the devil.
Scourge.
Now you got to distance yourself. But it's your problem that everyone in your position has to choose right versus wrong. Right versus wrong. Everybody knows it's wrong in the first place, but when you choose and you get a second chance, you better show that you're committed to making the right choices. You will have an opportunity to be heard. That's all I can promise you, and that's what's fair. But you've had a September, you're out there free falling on my watch. So the motion will be filed, and I want to set it also for a review in 3 months, one way or the other. Okay. In that motion, or that memo, please provide, all the details of any other conditions he's failing on. But we gotta get this fixed before he ambles off too far. That is all.
Doesn't he like have a cadence? He like goes in like waves. The way he's like a storyteller. I'm like this with Judge Stephen when he gets on a roll, and then he's like that nasty old grandpa that doesn't give the ball back after it goes in his yard. All right, let's go. Next, we're going to Thurston County. The Discord was lighting up. This was a late one. I think Tommy and my girl, My Crazy Life, sent this over to me. This one was a goody. Let's roll. You're going to enjoy this one, I promise.
On to our regularly scheduled calendar. It's not working. There we go. First off, Miss Chom or Chom, I'm not sure how to pronounce your last name, so please excuse that. And you're muted. You're still muted.
He's not muted. He fell, Judge.
We turn to Mr. Kirshner. Mr. Kirshner, I see you there. Can you unmute?
Yes. Slow clap.
Yeah.
And we're back.
Detox, please.
Mute the facility. So thanks. Mr. Kirshner is Chom.
Sweet Jesus.
Still not coming through. You're still muted. Chom? Nope, can't hear you. You may have to back out altogether and come back in and try and rejoin audio. Mr. Kirshner, if you can get down to the border there, start, join audio.
This isn't even the it gets better. Just
You
watch.
need to click on that icon, join audio. It may look like a couple of headphones.
People were having
Kirshner?
fun today. What a
Still
day
can't
for
hear you.
court.
Connecting to audio. What? Now try unmuting.
I think this guy has bigger problems than the mute button.
Mr. Kirshner?
He's not even muted. Detox,
Yeah.
please.
I don't know why I can't hear you, Mr. Kirshner, but maybe I can at least talk to you. You're trying to connect to audio and it just doesn't seem to be coming through.
He's on the floor. All right, I'm gonna skip a little bit.
All right, well, Mr. Kirschner, at least you can contact my staff if you need to, I'm sorry to say, but for whatever reason, technologically, it's not working. So,
Yes, can you
ya?
hear me now?
Yes.
You can hear
all
me,
right.
okay.
And
He's
how do I
still
pronounce
there.
your last
And we're
name?
back.
It's Chuam.
Chuam. Okay. So you've asked for a couple of orders, one against a Cody Sharp under case number 2390 and once against a Joseph Say under 2389. And with the limited time that the court has to devote to that today, what I'm going to do is set a hearing. I do not have the ability at this stage to evaluate it deeply enough to decide whether an order can issue. But I will set a hearing, and that hearing will be on April 3rd, 9 o'clock in the morning. You can appear by Zoom, and the court will take closer look. And if there's further information to provide, you can certainly provide that, but do it well in advance of Monday or it won't be reviewed. So probably the week before. And see if an order should or should not issue. But then it's up to you to get all of the information that you gave to the court, everything, to Mr. Sharp, Mr. Say, so they can be present at the hearing and be heard from as well. And then, so that hearing will convene at 9 o'clock. Expect to spend the morning. And again, you can appear by Zoom for both of those. All right. Okay.
Thank you.
And so loop back with the civil department. They'll give you what's called a service packet, which is something, all the information you filed with the court that needs to get to the other side. The court will not serve notice on anyone. You have to make sure it happens. All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Actually, I forgot to ask, Mr. Radasa, would you like a court-appointed attorney today, or would you like to just hire a private?
A court appointed.
Understood.
Okay. Anything to know about that?
Mr. Radasa,
I'm supposed to be starting work this evening
okay,
at Fred Meyer.
okay. And do you have a stable address?
I do have a stable address and a stable phone number as well.
Okay,
Any kids to support?
I do have a 14-year-old son. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. Well, on that, I will appoint Thurston County Public Defense to represent you after today.
Okay.
Or actually, I'm sorry, I'll appoint Mr. Pike's office to represent you after today.
Okay.
And one of the attorneys there. Yes?
Your Honor, I just wanted to point out that I'm only hired by City of Lacey to take care of preliminaries. I don't actually have a contract for public defense, Your Honor.
Got it. Okay, so then the Horwath office will represent you, Mr. Radasa, one of the attorneys there. And then let me turn to the attorneys here about release conditions today. So, Mr. McCollum.
Your Honor, the city had contemplated asking the court to consider some nominal bail, $1,000 cash or bond. There is prior history. It's been a number of years since his last charge and conviction, but the allegations are operating without a motor vehicle or without an ignition lock device. Some concerning facts with Mr. Radasa kind of jumping out of the car while it's still somewhat moving, leaving the passenger in the car, and some indications of trying to evade law enforcement. But so that's the concerns of the city of him being committed to return to court. But otherwise, no criminal law violations, not drive without valid license and insurance, comply with any conditions of DOL regarding ignition lock device.
And I did have benefit of the probable cause statement from law enforcement through the JABS program here. So I did read that. And Mr. Pike, then what are you asking on behalf of Mr. Radasa?
Under Rule 3.2, since he qualifies for indigent defense, Your Honor, I'm asking for nominal bail. He doesn't have as much resources as one would like. And so we just ask for nominal bail at this time.
Okay. So Mr. Radasa, I did see that even when you knew the officers were looking for you, you ran away, ran into another apartment. They had to find you there. And so I'm going to have you post some bond here, 1,000 cash or bond to be posted to encourage that you follow this court's orders
Right.
and that you come back to court. Then it'll be up to you to bring yourself back. If not, then we'll put you on the 1:30 calendar, but I'm trying to keep it low to encourage your return, but also get you released. So 1,000 cash or bond, stay clean and sober, stay law abiding.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then I wanted to confirm.
Meyer, I was hoping he was maybe just be on the bench. No feedback in there.
No, where he is. I can't remember, but I know that myself and Judge Buckley are on the bench this
He was here
afternoon.
this morning, but
Probably somewhere else.
Not
Okay.
scheduled for anything this afternoon.
All right.
Yeah, but his judicial assistant.
Oh, man.
Available right now.
Yeah, good idea. Nice to see you. All right, Thurston County
Mm.
Corrections Facility, your name, sir? And we need to get you unmuted so I can hear you.
This poor guy. Help this guy.
Special Stacy.
I'm sorry, what's your last name?
Stacy.
Mr. Stacy, hello.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Mr. Sneeva's here and got a warrant to clear up from December of last year.
Detox,
Mr.
please.
Fortunato, on this warrant return from Mr. Stacy, where's the state's issue?
Well, Your Honor, I don't know if Mr. Sneva has anything to report on any instances of why that would be the case. However, the state is inclined to ask for booking bail in this situation, given that it's a 2021 DUI that's still predisposition. And there's been issues with appearance since the August of 2021 arraignment.
And Mr. Sneva?
Thank you, Your Honor. We're asking that the court quash this. I spoke with Mr. Stacy. We're asking that public defense be reappointed. I don't know if this is a conflict or not, but I know it went to Mr. Vandenboss previously, but he's withdrawn. Nothing's changed in his financial status. I do know that he's not feeling real well today. He's hoping to go to detox. And so on that basis, I'd ask to have him released. He says he knows where he can go to do that and would be willing to, once he gets there, to call pretrial services and those sorts of things. Absent that, though, we would ask, I don't think he can post any bond, so any amount would be academic in that regard, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, and so I see warrants out of Mason County Superior. And do you know how Mr. Stacy came into custody?
I turned myself in.
And all right, when did you do that?
Because of human sex trafficking trade out of the jungle.
You turned yourself in, why?
This is human sex trafficking out of the jungle.
So you're concerned that you're being victimized?
I can't watch another 14-year-old die, dude.
I can't understand you. I'm sorry. Sounds like you're pretty sick right now. Is this a hearing that you
Detox,
think
please.
you're well enough to kind of
Detox.
track with what's going on?
Detox, please.
Well, I can't order detox exactly. All right, so Mr. Stacy, I'm gonna have you post bond now. Certainly, if detox is a good idea or a furlough, that can be dealt with over the weekend, can be dealt with next week. We can have a judge get involved, but
He said human trafficking out of the jungle. For people who are asking what.
committed crimes in the meantime, warrants out of Shelton Superior Court, warrants out of Shelton
down.
Uni Court, and you're not showing up for your trial here. So I'm going to fix the bail at $2,500 cash or bond and all the same conditions. When you're out of custody, you're clean and sober and law abiding. You don't drive unless you've got good license proof insurance, and you'd be on pretrial services supervision.
Thank you, Judge.
All right.
I need to go detox. I'm puking and shitting myself, pissing myself. I need to go detox.
Okay,
Please.
we'll talk to corrections there, and you've got an attorney appointed on this case as well.
All they give me is
Maybe that's
juice.
something the court can
I need some
deal
boxing or
with.
something, please.
Okay, there it is.
Understand that. Talk to corrections about your medical needs. But at this stage, I'm not releasing you without bail. And we're just gonna get this back on the trial track and make sure you've got counsel appointed.
I don't have any money, thanks. Hey, we're done. Can I go sleep now or what?
You ain't sleeping, dude. Ooh. Bravo. Tommy, my crazy Discord. Bravo.
And so today is day number 1 on a 60-day clock, and we need to get him set for confirmation in trial. Okay. No, this is a long time. They'll figure it out if they need to do that.
That's rough.
Who is appearing on the phone ending in 7198?
That's definitely rough. That's rough, guys. Like I said, if you guys know, I had my struggles with this. You know, I had some trauma going on in my life, and never withdrew like that. But I could definitely see his problem, and he's not lying. It's brutal. I feel for him. Now that I saw the whole thing, I mean, it was hysterical. I mean, we laughed, but that's tough. That wasn't drunk. He was withdrawn. He probably either ran out of money or just didn't have supply and was trying to get help. I mean, unfortunately, he probably didn't have any money, and that's what ended up happening. I'm just speculating, but that's what usually happens. You know, I feel for him, but bravo. All right, here we go. Let's do it to it. Here we go. We're gonna flip the script here, and we're gonna go. I am this one. All right, okay. As this loads up,
we've got a couple folks that still.
Hold on 1 second. Okay, so just give me 1 second, guys. Give me 1 second. I promise it's coming up.
We've got a couple folks that still. We've got Mr. Hart too. I'm gonna flip it back to Miss Edney.
Okay, so I apologize for the watermark. You're not gonna need it. I promise. It's beautiful. Welcome all my new members. Welcome Heather. Welcome Lady Sky. Okay, so this part really isn't that important. We're gonna go in. The next guy is phenomenal. Just hang in there. Me and my crazy, we're going back and forth about this clip. I have another clip from this, but this was even better. Enjoy.
Yeah, so I have multiple emails. I have multiple pictures in my phone where I have complained to them multiple times, sent emails about the conditions of the home. They have done nothing about it. They brought out 3 different people. Came out there to look at the conditions of it, and they explained to them.
And that's not my audio. She's playing something in the background.
Absolutely nothing about it. I complained to them numerous times, have many services. I have put in like requests for people to come out. I had sent them multiple emails. I have multiple pictures showing proof of the damages, and they've done nothing about it at all. And they're just getting away with what they're doing because it's been going on for a whole year. And I have 3 little children in the house with mold, and they've done nothing about it. They have not moved to another unit, one that's more healthier or anything. And I have been up there multiple times, and they have not acted on anything. Now, just recently, they want to send me a letter saying that they want to terminate my lease, but I have been complaining to them about this mold for over a year now.
Okay.
And I'm on maternity leave. I just had a baby, and I don't have nowhere else to go. So now they're trying to terminate my lease and remove me. And that's going to basically cause me to be homeless with 3 kids.
Okay. Well,
So it's Miss Edney, these are the options, okay? I mean, there's gonna be there's kind of limited options at this point, okay? You definitely have the opportunity to present your counterclaim. I would suggest that you be more specific. If you don't have any specifics in your pleadings about it, I will reset this case for an in-person hearing.
Oh, yes, I have photos, I have emails where I have shown them. I have
Okay. Well, Ms. Edna,
where they have done nothing to fix this issue.
Okay. And
That's been going on since April of last year.
Your rent is paid every month, and it's not your fault.
Ms. Edna, can you get the people in your vicinity to stop talking or turn off the radio or whatever's going on?
I'm sorry, that's my computer.
Oh, okay.
Can you hear me now?
Okay, perfect. Yeah, that's much better. Okay, so Ms. Edna, I'm sorry, Ms. Edney, what I'll have to do today is I'm gonna have to reset your case for an in-person hearing, okay? The part of that is, I guess, difficult is the fact that what goes along with that is that I'm gonna have to enter an order to pay rent into court while the case is pending, okay? There's a statute that requires me to do that. It's pretty, I mean, there's not a whole lot of wiggle room for me in that regard, okay? This is something that the landlord can actually ask for without even coming to court on it.
Yes, that's reasonable, but I just felt like they weren't doing anything about it, and this was the only thing to kind of get their attention. I have hospital documents that show that my son was getting sick from that mold, and it's like they're just getting away with what they're doing. So it's like, why do you have to pay rent if they're not doing their job? And this has been going on since April of last year, where I can pull up emails right now and show where I complained to them multiple times, where my kids and myself are getting sick from this. And they've done nothing.
I object to that. There's not going to be any causation evidence on that.
Okay.
I have
But
the evidence.
So Ms. Edney, you will have an opportunity to present your counterclaim. Like I said, I'm going to reset this for an in-person hearing. I am going to have to order you to pay rent into court though. Okay. So I think that might be difficult, considering your situation, but I unfortunately, I just don't have any option. I mean, the law does require me to do it. So the last payment of rent on this, I believe, was
December.
Was in December. Okay, so it's January to today. Is that right?
Yes,
that's correct.
Okay, so that's January, February.
Right here.
And so it would be April if I give you to the April 7th.
Correct.
So what's the monthly 1,300?
1,300, Judge.
All right.
Times 4.
So
that's
4 times 1,300. Let's see.
5,200, I think.
Okay, yeah. So that would be the 5,200 would bring you current, and that's through.
I'm sorry, I cannot hear you, ma'am.
Okay, it's going to be a lump sum that will be due to the registry of the court. You don't pay this to the landlord.
Come on.
Okay.
Scoot over.
Pay it to the.
Scoot over.
Miss Edney?
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to get my baby from stop
crying. I understand.
Yell at your kids in front of the judge. That's great.
So the order to pay rent into court is going to require a lump sum payment of rent into court on April 7th. That's going to include April rent. Okay, it's going to be basically the back rent plus rent for April. That is going to be $5,200 on April 7th. And then on the 5th day of every month thereafter, you would need to pay the normal monthly payment of $1,300. Okay, and that's that will be in effect until your case is scheduled and heard on the final, and you will receive notice. We've got a couple folks I didn't see. There's no counterclaim. Essentially, your answer is just a copy. You muted yourself.
Yes. Well, the money is coming. I just don't have it right now. So the money is coming. Like, I am going to pay the rent.
Okay, so she's just a babbling fool. Yeah. They don't have the rent. Blah, 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 blah. We've heard it a million times, us court nerds. What you need to pay attention to is the blue sky above us. I promise you. You will not be disappointed. In a day where Manning reigned supreme, we had defendant Hart.
Because he said I have 2 weeks to
enjoy,
move out.
people. Okay. Enjoy.
And I told
That's
him,
actually 7 more days than I could give you. I'm only statutory allowed, like for me, but the only power I have without his consent, the way the law is written, I only can give you 7 days. So if he's able to give you any more than that.
because he says I have to move out within April 7th.
Okay. I mean, essentially,
Look at
I
that
think that's
pose.
the same date I would be able to get. Well, no, maybe not. Hold on.
Your day would be 29.
So even
Yeah.
it's a removal, it's a no-go.
Correct.
31st.
Your removal's denied because it's not timely. You didn't file it timely. You didn't file it on time.
And he
Is
speaks.
essentially that.
So the timely would have been the 18th.
Well, the 18th was the 18th was a Saturday, so you would have had to file it on the 20th.
So when is the grace period?
Good one.
There's no grace period. It's a notice of removal that those have to be filed within a strict deadline, and it would have been
Okay, but the 18th would have been, you said Saturday, but I filed it before the court date.
You file it on March 22nd, which is 2 days late.
Yeah, before the court date.
That's not the 30 days.
All
It's
the new
30 days
members,
of you
welcome.
being served. It was 30 days within you being served with the plea.
All those new members.
You were 2 days late.
Flasher,
I'm sorry.
Gang OG judge signs. Flash.
Okay, so
the removal is not. The removal is going to be denied. It wasn't filed in a timely manner. If you would like to speak to Mr. Williams again, I'm happy to send you a link to go back into the breakout room.
okay, I'll speak to him.
Okay. Ms. Harper, if you could send them another link.
He's warming up, people.
Am I going back to the same room?
Yes.
Okay.
We've got a couple folks. That.
Oh no.
Your rent to the registry of the court instead of your landlord. Okay.
And how do I need to file new paperwork is what I'm asking.
Then we have Wheezy.
New paperwork for what? You need. I would suggest that you amend your counterclaim.
I submitted a lot of documents.
I don't think you need to submit all your documents. If you just have repair issues, you need to add that to your file and make sure it's people are aware of what your claims are.
He's getting ready as Wheezy's speaking. Just watch.
Right, but you need to upload it as a pleading, like amend your answer and put it in the pleadings. And
Okay.
just do that before your next court date. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Just put it in detail and put it into the file. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Ms. Nixon, unless you have any other questions, you're free to go.
Question. The landlord.
All right, and can you turn your camera on, please?
But can you reach out to me?
Gotcha.
Okay.
All right.
Sorry, Judge.
That's all right.
Yeah.
All right. Yes, unless you have any questions, you're free to go, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Here we go.
All right. So Miss Nixon, you're free to leave if you'd like. Not sure she knows how to leave.
I don't. I'm trying to leave.
That's right.
Come
It
on,
should be just a
Wheezy.
button that says leave. Like a big red button.
Big red button, Wheezy. Ask George to help you.
All right.
I got it. I got it.
You got it? Okay, good. All right, Miss Nixon, you have a good day.
You too.
All right. All right. We have and finally we've got Mr. Hart. Mr. Hart's my understanding you do not wish to go into the breakout room with Mr. Williams.
I'm curious, it's no, like from what I'm used to in law. How are you, Judge? How are you this morning?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
Okay.
So, standing in law, if he's representing, Mr. Williams is representing, that's not on nowhere of my paperwork. Let me finish my thought before you interrupt. I get interrupted. He's nowhere represented on no paperwork from the leasing office, nor is he represented on any filing that I went down to the court, the dispensary or whatever that place is I had to file. these judgments or whatever, this answer to judge or whatever, he's nowhere written on there. I know that you said something about calendar date, and here's the thing. Unlawfully, he represents, I don't even know if this, I tried to look up his practice. I tried to see if he works. I don't know if he works for the court. I don't know if he's a private attorney on these cases. But here's the thing. Why would I go in a room with no representation, no public defender, or no mediator, and you're not in the room either to talk to their judge, to their attorney about a case?
Oh, Mr. Hart, you don't, if you're choosing not to do that, I'm not going to force you to do that.
But here's the, by law, where does that make sense at that he represents it's no mediator. I'm from up north, and usually in these cases,
Mr. Hart, things are different in the north. The laws here, and essentially you can represent yourself, or you can have an attorney represent you. Those are the two options.
Why?
Mr. Williams does Mr. Hart, just hold on a second. He does represent
in a room with a lawyer that represents the person that the defendant. Like, why would you sit me in a room and you're not even present in that room? Where is that by law that I don't have no mediator to mediate us to?
It's a formal mediator isn't required. You're able to negotiate your case on your own, representing yourself, unless you have if you had an attorney, that person could do the negotiation
with a lawyer to represent myself.
You can either represent yourself, which you are doing today, or you can hire a lawyer before your court date. But you are here today representing yourself.
Why isn't no mediate? Why that's like a contradiction. I'm sitting in a room with an attorney and I don't have no representation. And
Mr. Hart, if you don't want to speak with him, I'm not going to force you to speak with him. You don't have to do that.
That seems unlawful.
It's not unlawful, but you can say what you're going to say, but it's not unlawful, and you are representing yourself today. I did look at your answer. I didn't understand.
I don't know law, so why would I sit in a room and try to debate with an attorney that has a degree?
You're representing yourself. You're facing a legal case, and you've got to represent yourself. So you're going to have to make some decisions that have legal consequences for yourself today. That's what's happening. So you're here representing yourself.
It's just it's a conversation, not confrontation. Please notate that.
Judge, I'm fine with this over and requiring rent to be paid in the court. It's pretty clear this isn't going to be resolved today.
Right. So I'm willing to reset your case to in person. Okay, you'll have an opportunity to present whatever. I do think you need to, just like I stated, you do need to amend. If you have anything other than what you stated in your answer, you would, before the next court date, you should add that
as well.
So what I'm going to do today, we're going to reset this for a final hearing.
Pushing me along and you're not even listening.
Mr. Hart, I'm trying to work.
I have a whole list of things that I want to go over. I have a whole list of things and questions that I wanted to ask you, and you're pushing me along without.
Because we're not going to have your final today. We essentially is an opportunity for you to try to resolve your case. If you choose not to do that, that's fine. I honestly don't really see any counterclaim. I don't really see anything in your file that would be litigated at a final hearing, but I can reset it to give you an opportunity. To give you an opportunity to say whatever you want to say. Okay?
Sure. I sent you all documentations prior. I sent all the things.
I'm looking at your answer and
no, not my answer. I sent you documentations like pictures.
Mr. Hart, I suggest you get it after today. I'm going to order to pay rent into court. If you feel that I think you have some legal questions, you should consult an attorney. Okay.
So you're just dismissing me. So I can't convince a group of people that already got their mind made up about me.
I'm not dismissing you. I'm just I'm resetting your case.
But here's the thing. I'm out of I no longer live there. I'm like moving out by the 31st or the 30th. I'm out. However, I think it's Georgia Affairs or whatever. They're in the process, as you know, as a rental and a tenant landlord. Judge, you know that this is a process. The gouge is disgusting. The fact that you guys gouge, it's a systematic institutional way of getting these people to pay rent. I'm quite sure your mortgage is not just as high as ours. Not that has anything to do with anything, but it's just a gouge. I'm talking to a lawyer that's representing. I'm going in a room with no representation to talk to a lawyer that can get that doesn't make sense. And then on top, Georgia rental assistance is paying. They've been paying. I've been on a program and they know this leasing office knows, hear me out, Judge. They know that I'm on a program and the program's been paying my rent ever since I've been on the program for the last 2 years. And it's a process, meaning like if you qualify, it's a 2 month.
Is it a voucher?
Yeah, and then they pay it in full, but they'll pay it in a lump sum.
And they stopped paying your voucher for some
Can
reason?
you please look at the documents that I sent you? I sent you everything in email
But
form.
we're gonna have a final hearing later today. I mean, not later today. We're gonna reset the case for a final. You're gonna be able to present all of your evidence. If you're vacating the property anyway, then this pay rent in the court is not gonna have a huge impact on you if you're already gonna vacate the property. But I'm going to go ahead and, Mr. Williams, what was the last rental payment received?
Got it. But here's the thing about Georgia.
Mr. Hart, I've got to stop. I'm going to take a moment. I'm going to mute you for just 1 second. Mr. Williams, when was the last rental payment received?
Judge, the amount that's due through February is $23.90. So there's been no payment in March, and as well, the rent is $14.55 per month. If you're going to allow him to the 7th to pay in, we would ask that the base rent be paid in the court, which would be a total of $5,300.
That includes April rent, correct?
It does, if you're going to give him till the 7th. If he's moving out, then that's fine. Then he wouldn't have to pay in the court, and we'll just deal with the monetary issues when we come.
All right. So, Mr. Hart, what we're going to be doing today, we're resending your case for an in-person hearing. We are going to issue that order to pay rent in the court. However, if you're moving, that's really not going to have much of an effect on you. You've got to unmute yourself again.
I said, I'm out, Judge. I'm out. But my thing is, I can't rent another spot. If it's an eviction, you know the laws down here. You deal with this. This is your job. It will have a judgment against my credit. Whereas if I'm trying to go find another place, I won't be able to do that. When Georgia,
well, it's already filed, Mr. Hart. The eviction is already filed. It's already on your record, so it's already there for people to see it. It's just a matter of the case.
Get it freed up. When it can be freed up, that I can get my name back for being.
You can. I'm going to have to refer you to an attorney for that. Okay.
Like a public defender?
It's not a public defender, just be a general civil lawyer. Just you need to consult get some legal advice about that. Okay. Because I can't give you legal advice, sir. I'm gonna have to stop.
No, I get that, but I'm on a voucher. Like I'm on a yearly voucher, and they gouge me if the voucher doesn't come by the 1st. It's a process. You know this. They'll add all these fees, they'll evict me within the 10 days. When y'all know y'all getting my money, y'all know y'all getting your money.
Okay. All right, if you're already out, sir, this what I'm doing today is not going. If you've already moved out, then you're not going to be really affected by this order. So we're just going to put it into place, and then I need you to monitor your email address, and then come back when your hearing is rescheduled. What I want you to do is, hopefully, in the meantime, you can get some legal advice. Okay?
They're sending that $5,000. It's Georgia Affairs or whatever.
And if they pay that, then you won't have that balance owed. You won't have to, if you can show that that's paid later, that's great. That'll go against whatever's owed. But again, we're resetting it today, Mr. Hart. I've got to go.
The judgment and the eviction. So if I go get another place, when do that lift
I need you to refer to an attorney. Okay. But we are going to reset your case today. Okay. All right, Mr. Hart, I'm going to have to let you go. Okay, I just need to monitor your email address, and then you'll know when to come back for your next court date. Okay, sir? Okay.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Hart, I hope you have a great rest of your day, okay?
Oh, you too.
All right. All right, Ms. Meredith?
Bravo on the judge. Bravo on the judge.
Yes, Your Honor.
Isn't that whole little background he has going on ironic? Beautiful blue sky behind him, and he's just a jerk.
To know,
oh my God. I knew you guys were gonna like that one. I was mesmerized. All right, here we go. I think it's Judge Bryant time. Let me find my Bryant clip. And then we got to throw Manning in. Manning was just too good. It was just too good. Oh my god, it's like watching episodes of The Sopranos or Game of Thrones. It's just, you can watch it, it gets better every single time. We'll get a little Bryant, a little warm up of Bryant, and then we'll go into a little Manning. I got it all recorded, so we'll take our pick. We'll have fun with Manning, and then I'll throw in a couple extra other clips. It's a Friday night. We're rocking and rolling. Let's roll.
She never reported for probation. And then in 2021, we gave her another chance. She was placed back on probation. And then she capious again. That was in November 2021. And then in April 2022, she capious again. She has failed to do anything. Mr. Murad?
Your Honor, I do believe the court's recollection of the procedural history is correct. Ms. Garrett did say that she did do a little community service, but was never able to provide the receipt. And once she had that discussion with the probation department, she became discouraged and decided that she was not going to continue. And here's the thing, Judge, I know what the court's thinking. And I explained to Ms. Garrett that probation is the alternative to jail, and that Your Honor would be inclined to sentence her to 93 days for any non-compliance, especially unwillingness to comply. In talking to Ms. Garrett this morning, Judge, I did discover that she does have some mental health issues that I believe we may have missed back in 2019. She does have a lot going on. She's got about 5 children. One of them is disabled. And I know that she can't be the mother that she wants to be if she gets thrown in jail in this case.
Well, let me interrupt you and say she's on her way to jail. So let's bring in the mental health treatment court, because she's on her way to jail. That's it. I'm not giving her another time to just show up and then don't come back. Madam Clerk, can you contact? Oh, I don't know who's doing the mental health treatment court now. It was Mr. Green, but I understand that may not be him anymore. So maybe you could reach out to Mr. Wade and see or Mr. Morgan, and just call probation and ask them who's doing mental health treatment court.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thanks. Because she keeps leaving, coming back, getting back in, reinstated. We're playing ping pong and tennis, and I don't want to. So let's see if they can assist.
She's been using the ping pong reference in tennis a lot lately. It's like the 3rd time I heard it this week. It's her new one. I love her.
All right, while we're waiting on them. And I'm going to note for the record as well. I'm going to just put this on the record. This is as it relates to case number 194462001. That's the people versus Tyke Dante Kirkland. And in that case, the defendant is charged with 1 count of assault or assault and battery. No, 1 count of aggravated assault. The defendant was in capious status as well. This is the co-defendant to Ms. Garrett. When Ms. Garrett logged into the courtroom today, her screen name was Tyke, right? Her screen name was Tyke. I don't know why Mr. Kirkland didn't come to court today, and why Miss Garrett keeps showing us only the top of her eyes, because that's bothering me. But I don't know why Mr. Kirkland didn't come today, but because I now believe that Miss Garrett is in touch with Mr. Kirkland and may know where Mr. Kirkland is because she logged into my courtroom under the screen name of Tyke. I want her to pass this message along. The court is going to capious Mr. Kirkland today. His bond is going to be $10,000 cash surety plus a GPS tether if he is arrested on his warrant. That's going to be his bond. Okay. And then we're going to proceed, and she's not going to unmute to tell me that. She's not going to.
Excuse me. Yes, I am.
No, you're not. No, you're not. I don't know who you think you're talking to. I don't know who you think you're talking to, because right now you're on the verge of going to jail. So excuse me, but I'm certain that you're not trying to take up for Mr. Kirkland because you're on your way to jail. Mr. Kirkland needs to be responsible for himself. He had a court date today. So let's do this. If Miss Garrett wants to have an attitude with me and want to do that, we don't have to have her interviewed. We can do what we're doing. And all of this movement and stuff, I don't have a phone. I don't know if she can't see the 2 flags behind me. I don't know if she can't see the seal. I don't know if she can't see my black robe, because she's talking to me like she's talking to one of her children. And let me be clear, I'm not one of her children. I'm Judge Bryant. That's who I am. We are in court. That's where we are. And she's not going to talk to me like that. So we're going to have the specialty court come in. And as I indicated, with respect to Mr. Kirkland's case, because he has failed to appear, that's going to be the bond. Okay? Let's see if the specialty court is going to log in. Are we ready on Norfleet?
Ready, Judge.
He told you that was a goodie. Oh, I told you that was a goodie. All right, let's roll to a little Manning. We're just gonna get a little Manning, and then I'll splice some other stuff. I know everybody's seen it, but there's probably people that haven't seen it. Manning is on fire. I also posted a video, but there was just so much going on today. It was non-stop. All right, so let's roll.
Specifically, amazing singer. Okay, right before I took out this order, finally, I'm coming from the trash. I haven't said anything to anybody. Amazing Singer runs out the door, bitch, this, all that, all on the porch. Our mother was having a birthday party.
Okay, so what I'm going to do for you guys is I'm going to just start at the best part where I posted my short today, where she erupts. From this point on, it's just pandemonium. So just sit back and relax and enjoy it, guys. This is a rerun if you've seen it. Time served. We're serving up the Manning clip. Let's roll, Judge. You are the greatest. You are the GOAT, Manning.
And I wasn't doing anything, taking out the trash. I gotta be bitches and hoes. Look, I got my young
fireworks outside.
I know telling when these folks gonna try to jump on me. A few months back, this was in February. Her and her mother was on the porch. The mother was right there. Amazing. She wanna yell and cuss and scream. The mother right there with her. She even threw a lit cigarette at me and my son. That's cruelty to children. She had a water bottle. She threw that. The mother knocked it down. I can't say. Jackie knocked the water bottle down. I called the police that night. Nobody came. But the next morning, I called again. And someone did come out. But he informed me that he really couldn't do anything about it because...
Before we get rolling this, I'm sorry for pausing. Guys, if you watched it, Credence and Bishop, they're my guys. They're on at 1 o'clock. And on again at 4, and they have members only streams. If you're not a member, they're fantastic. They got everything going on. They have different channels. They showed this, I know, and a lot of people saw this. They showed a lot of the TPO too. But if you haven't seen it, sit back and relax. Make sure you check out Credence and Bishop. They're my boys.
It happened the night before. I have to watch my back just taking out the trash. I wanted to sit out the other night after school. I go to school. My son goes to school. I'm in school for radiology. Barely could sit on the porch when I want to, not knowing when this girl gonna come downstairs and try to jump on me. She has ran down those steps so many times on me, and it's beyond ridiculous. And I'm tired of the situation. I want to be left alone so I could just do my studying and better my situation for my children. I don't have time for Miss Sims. I just don't. I don't want to be attacked. I don't want my son to be attacked in the process. My son follows me everywhere I go.
All right, Ms. Thomas, slow down. So far, what I've heard from you is she's calling you bitches and hoes. That's what I've heard.
Throwing lit cigarettes at me and the baby, and like the girl does a lot of stuff, Your Honor, and it's not okay.
This the first girl,
Judge Honor, can I please?
Stand by. Miss Jackie Sims, let me hear from you first.
Yes, ma'am. How you doing, Judge, Your Honor?
Cool. Go ahead, I'm trying.
I haven't spoke to Miss Thomas in over 2 years. When I go out my door, I go past her door, I mind my own business. Everybody around here know I don't speak to her. I don't say nothing to that lady. And then I don't even associate with her. I just pass by her like a tree. I don't say nothing to that lady. I ain't spoke to her over 2 years.
All right, Ms. Sims, Ms. Amazing Sims, what would you like to say?
Yes, ma'am. I want to clear my name about the lit cigarettes, Judge Your Honor. I have never flicked no lit cigarettes at a child. For one, every time I come outside,
Not my
Miss
echo.
Thomas, she rushes outside like she's eardropping at the door. She comes outside when she see me outside making noises. The other day, what it was, Wednesday, before we came to court, she's out there barbecuing. I'm out there washing clothes. She has her grill right by our step. She's standing right there at the grill. As I'm coming down the steps with my laundry, she's standing right there backing up, trying to get me to bump into her. I walked over to this red car that we have out here in our parking lot. So, company, my friend came over. Net pulls her grill in the middle of the parking. Like we supposed to hit her or something. No, ma'am. Ain't nobody messing with this thing, ma'am. This stuff been 2 years ago.
And I'm standing too close to one another.
Not gonna let nobody lie on my name, Judge Your Honor.
This girl is a compulsive liar. She is compulsive. Well, how did I get a video? How did we just have words a few months ago? How did all this take place?
A few months ago, you had video in June. What video did you have recently?
My camera doesn't catch everything, though. I can honestly say my camera doesn't catch anything. But how do we? If it's been 2 years, huh? And I cannot barbecue in the middle of the parking lot when cars are coming by. That doesn't make sense. I was
barbecuing in Freaknik when I was a cop, and people barbecuing in the middle of 285.
I can't barbecue in the middle of the parking lot.
Well, they did. You obviously weren't here for the first Freaknik. They barbecued in the middle of the interstate, broke out the charcoal and everything.
I just want to be left alone. I have not done anything to anybody. Ain't no way I can barbecue in the middle of our parking lot. It's a one-way in, one-way out.
Judge Your Honor, we have a spot where we all supposed to barbecue at. It's in a picnic area, and she was all out there in the parking lot trying to get me to bump her. For what? Why you keep picking with us? We're not messing with you.
This girl is a compulsive liar, Your Honor.
Ladies, look.
I'm messing with you.
How do you a parking spot bothering somebody?
I know. Here's everybody. This is insane. This is insane. This is neighbors. Ladies. You know, it never matters. I give these same speeches and people roll their eyes. Ladies and women of color, you should be lifting one another up. It is hard enough out here. You should be lifting one another up, protecting one another, looking out for one another, because there's too many women out there that are getting hurt by other people, by their spouses, by their significant others, getting hurt walking up, getting hurt delivering food. And you ladies should be looking out for one another. If it's like when I was a kid, it still took a village. So if there's kids, guess what? If something was to happen and one of your children ran outside, Miss Thomas, I got a feeling, even if Miss Jackie Sims don't like you, that she would go and dash out there and get that kid from in front of the car. That's what a village does for people. Listen, that's the iPhone. Oh my God, sir, put that cigarette out. I don't give a crap that you are outside of what is wrong with everybody today? You know what, Miss Reed, we're gonna start bringing people in person. People are gonna learn how to act in a courtroom. Here. All right. Don't you light another cigarette, sir. You heard me tell Miss Sims to stop smoking. All right. I'm not going to put this in place because you ladies seriously need to help one another. It takes everybody helping one another. It does. Don't say anything to Miss Thomas. Don't make her come back here again with complaints. But I do this, and your neighbors, and we all got to live somewhere near neighbors, and some neighbors don't like each other. Some just don't like them. But don't do this. Just decide you can't get along. But try. You're gonna need each other at some point in time. Y'all place your emails in the chat. Once you do, we'll send you a copy of the dismissal. Y'all stay healthy and safe. Please take care of one another. And you know what? Be more like Michelle. They go low, you go high. They go low, you go high. That'll be like Michelle Obama. Make us happy. They'll place your email in the chat. We'll email you copies of the dismissals.
So we do have to stay away from each other, right? Even though we don't have a court.
Yeah, leave each other alone. They'll place your email in the chat. We'll send you a copy of dismissals. Thank y'all. What y'all do?
All right, thank
you. And we'll go to the next one.
They just keep rolling along.
Everybody's here.
Next.
12:30 calendar. Cameras on, stay on mute. Cameras on, stay on mute. Cameras on, everybody, for the 12:30 calendar and stay on mute. Ms. Simmons, did you get proof of service into Ms. Free?
Yes, Your Honor, I sent it to the email address provided.
All right, she'll check it. If you're here for the 12:30, cameras on, stay on mute. Cameras on, stay on mute. I need everybody's camera on and stay on mute. Everybody, because Ms. Russell, I turned the camera off because it looks like you were laying down. We don't lay down. We don't smoke. We don't lay down. We don't take a bath. We don't take a shower. We don't take a crap. We don't go to the bathroom.
She said take a crap.
We act like we are in a courtroom. We don't drive. Everybody. Sims, once you place your email in the chat, Ms. Sims, y'all can both leave.
Poor Judge Manning.
1+ DE 2118. Can't follow instructions because I know I sent the message to the waiting room to change your screen name. Once you place your email in the chat, Ms. Sims, you and your mom can both leave.
The reason that was echoing because the last two people were in the same house.
Here. Moto G Stylus 5G. Sir, with the glasses and the follically challenged there with the bald head. Need to change your screen name. It is not Moto G Stylus 5G. Not what it is. If your mama named you that, I'll do the free name change for you.
Now, we could keep this rolling. I could jump to Mr. King, who gets the field sobriety test, or I could just let it roll, and we'll just all let it go. I think that's what we're going to do, because it is a great time. Let's just roll it.
No, ma'am, I'm, don't.
Change your name. All right, I got Amanda Jane Rose.
Here, Your Honor.
Jessica Fagan for Miss Rose.
All right, Daniel William Rose, Jr. I don't show service. Is he avoiding?
He is avoiding. We actually had him, we have an affidavit of service from Charleston, South Carolina. We had him personally served in Charleston.
Okay, have you filed the affidavit of service over yet?
It's being filed. My paralegal actually just closed on the sale of her home, so she just got back to the office. So she is in the process of filing that right now. And I have emails with him and his attorney where they have notice of today's hearing. And
who's his attorney? I don't think an attorney's filed on his behalf.
They have not. He says he's going to be hiring Randy Kessler. So I'm not sure who at Mr. Kessler's will actually be handling it. What did Ms. issues to your knowledge, Ms. Rose?
Put in there that he has. Okay, thank you.
All right, Your Honor, I have it in does confirm service on March 20th.
After she told me, spoke on my address and checked my girlfriend.
No matter what she did,
yeah.
Who is this person to you?
Right. Was a friend.
Okay. Go ahead, Ms. Segura. What do you got to say to all that?
Okay. So yes, the most recent situation was yesterday. I knew nothing about a restraining order. Her job that she's speaking about is an EJ. It's not a patrol job. It's where I met her at in Lenox Mall. So like me following her around the mall, no. There's camera footage at the mall that I'm working on getting pulled to show that I do not follow her in the mall. I seen her yesterday, which was the first time that I've seen her in about 2 weeks. So honestly, I went up to her yesterday and I told her, I said, Adjo, are you gonna ignore me forever? And then I said, she said, girl, get away from me. And then I said, like, you know, I kind of like put my hands up, like, what? Like, what's going on? Like, just let me apologize. And I said, you know, I love you. And then she pulled her taser out, and then when I seen her pull her taser out, which is the second time she's done this to me, I walked away, and I guess maybe she had phoned her girlfriend, because when I turned around, her girlfriend then attacked me. So I'm working on paperwork for her girlfriend. The event that she's speaking about at Midtown Blue, that's my home address. I passed by her car that night. I seen her sitting in the car when I was leaving a taco place that I go to pretty much every other night. So I seen her, and again, I never once threatened her life that night. I walked past her car, and I said, same thing. I never approached her window. I put my hands in the air and I said, hey, can you talk to me for a minute? She backed out like crazy, ran over like all the cones. And if you look at the footage, which I'm working on getting pulled as well, I was standing there like, what are you doing? We've been cheating for 8 months, and cheating with me on your girlfriend for 8 months. So like, no, I wouldn't threaten your life. I've been doing everything that you have asked me to do for 8 months. If I wanted to sabotage your situation, I would have sabotaged it in August of 2022. I worked with her girlfriend. So go back. The other event that she's speaking about in Lenox Mall, that other event that's listed on, I just found out about her girlfriend's tires being slashed. I literally contacted Fulton County. I don't remember all the words behind Fulton County this morning. And I got them to email me because I got served last night with an ex parte. And from my understanding, an ex parte is a type of protective order for someone that feels like there's imminent danger. And I'm like, that night that's in question, when all of this started, Adro called me. I have incoming call records where she called me that night. I didn't just follow her through the mall. She had blocked me because I sent her girlfriend a message and told her girlfriend, can you please tell Adro to stop calling me and texting me about your crybaby ass? Because all she does when we're on the phone is pillow talk about her girlfriend and how terrible she is as a partner and how she wants to be single and all these things. And I'm like, well, if you want to be single, like, I can help you be single. Let me go ahead and text your girlfriend. It was triggered by a statement that Adro made on the phone.
Okay, so this one is obviously Kim, bottom left next to me, and the cop. This is a lesbian relationship, obviously. If I see in the chat, it wasn't one of the most intriguing ones. I'll let it play for a little bit, and then we're going to go to Mr. King.
It wasn't something that I was doing to be vindictive. She made a comment to me, and it did trigger me to text her girlfriend that night. She did block me after that. But after she blocked me, and I would have been more prepared had I known I had a restraining order against me. I didn't even know until yesterday. But I pulled up, I don't know how this works, but I pulled up some of my phone records. There was not a phone 400 dial. That's exaggerated. It's probably about 45 calls. But in that, if you look at the call records, there's times where I would call her and she would answer, and she told me that she was going to keep me blocked because her girlfriend was kind of like onto her situation and that she would call me back. And if you look in my call records, all of that shows. You can subpoena my call records from Verizon. It shows all throughout the day where I would call her blocked maybe 3 times, and then she would call back and we would stay on the phone for about 30, 40 minutes each time. And then that night in question in Lenox Mall, I don't remember the date. I looked at my credit card statement. I think it's wrong. It said February 6th, but I think
Lenny.
it was the 7th. I paid for my food because Adro called me. And on that call,